if you guys are struggling to find customers or clients that are willing to purchase your content, or you just keep running into time wasters, then please watch this video. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to actually find people that will buy your content and not just waste your time. Now, from what I've seen in my Discord, some of you, not all of you, keep running into the same problem, time wasters. If you guys are new, it basically means these are the type of people that are just willing to drag the conversation on for days and days, even weeks, with not paying you a single dime. It could be a number of things, Number one, they're broke. Number two, they're broke. Or number three, they live in India. But it does matter where these people live. If you're getting customers from the US rather than some place, let's say some third world country, they're most likely to have more money and they're more willing to pay. You guys have to be a little bit more methodical when it comes to choosing your customers. So how do I filter out time wasters now? This is how I do it. Try to get as much information out of them as possible. Then let's say, having to talk to them for a whole month and them not sending anything. I know the feeling, it sucks. I have a list that I pretty much just check off. And pretty much these are the requirements for finding potential paying customers. This isn't an exact science. Just because, everything is checked off doesn't mean that they're gonna pay you anything. I've had pretty much people all over the world as paying customers or clients. So, it just happens to be that most of them are in this category. So, first we have age. Age is important. People might not think it is, but you're talking to some 19-year-old guy as opposed to a 40-year-old guy. The 40-year-old has a higher probability of paying, obviously, because hopefully he has more money. 70 to 80% of my customers are usually over 30 or 40 years old. Now, you guys will also want to see, what they do for work. How you find this out is, basically just plain and simple, asking all the important questions in the beginning, just so you're not guessing later on. You guys could literally be talking to a homeless person for months with a stolen phone that they're using to message you. You guys have to be more smarter. I know a lot of you guys think this is simple. It is once you get the process going, but come on, guys. But yeah, 30 or above is ideal. Now, distance. Now, this is something that's kind of extra. It does matter to an extent, is, how far they are. If you guys are using dating apps, it's usually not an issue because you could actually see how many miles they are away from you. So, it kind of makes them think that, at some point in time, they're expecting to see you in person. Now, if you guys are on a Discord, this will not always be the case. You'll have some people, overseas, which I don't recommend. I recommend only talking to people from, the US, UK, pretty much just any first world country. Again, I do have customers outside of that, but just all the big paying ones are from those places. Last but not least is how they talk or message you. Pretty much you want them leading the conversation.
So let's say if it's the next day, you basically want them messaging you like saying, good morning, whatever it is. Like, you don't want to be in the back of their minds. You always want to be the priority of their day. As soon as they wake up, they message you, which is a good sign. Now, there are certain circumstances where, I will do the opposite, message them first, but this is only after the fact that I pretty much know that they're connected in a way. Obviously there are some nuances. You guys aren't gonna know how to actually do this unless you actually do it. So yeah, make sure you guys join the Discord to get the free guide in the pack. All you gotta do is open a ticket in the server, drop a sub, and that's it. Yeah, peace out.